I always believe that there's like what I call synchronicities in life. Certain connections are like predestined, and it's like you're supposed to connect with certain people and instigate or to be like a reminder of certain things so that people can move forward with certain things in their lives. And you build connections that way. Pets from past lives that come forward in this lifetime to, continue to be that connection or that support for you. And then you also have like your connection to like the earth.
Right.
We also have connections with even things that we can't see, like angels and ascended masters.
Right.
And it's like we're able to perceive those connections if we're more connected to our heart space.
Right.
They like to give us, like those little gentle nudges and stuff like that. And it's all done through our connections. If we really pay attention to our connections and the energy through our heart, it's like our lives could be so much more fulfilled and flow with that, that energy.
So I remember really enjoying mowing my yard. And I always mowed really slow because I was noticing the nuances in the yard. Like there were little areas that seemed to me like tiny little universes. And while I was doing this, I went by the willow tree and I heard it in my head ask me to mow further away from it. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. I've never had anything like that happen before. And so I did. I started mowing out a little ways further. And then I noticed there was a little bit of a root that was coming up out of the ground and it had been shaved a little bit on top because that mower kept hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. And so I did. The next time I mowed out further away from it. And then, I don't know, a month later or so, I'm doing it again. I'm mowing around it and it said, could you go a little bit further? And I'm like, okay, that was a connection that was very unexpected, but it was fun because after that, I started having connections with just about every tree or plant in the yard or rock or whatever. It was quite an amazing time to have connections with all of this stuff.
Well, shoot, I was thinking about like one of my first connections that I had with angels. I was
Mhm.
in a meditative state and I'm like the number one like doubter. I'm always like, this is a bunch of hooey. It's like it's not real. It's like I want solid proof. Like it's like I have a science minor, so it's like I was always like, you have to have proof in order to, in
Oh,
order
sure.
for it to validate or be real.
Right.
I'm in this meditative state, connecting with Archangel Michael, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, yeah, so you're Archangel Michael, right? I need proof. I want you to show me with beyond a doubt that, like I'm connecting with, Archangel Michael, right? And so that all of a sudden, I swear it's like I had this lightning bolt of energy just like come from the heavens, like the heavens parted and just like boom! I just felt like my whole body got shot with this electricity that went through my whole body, and I just stood up straight, and I just opened my eyes, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what was that?" So you wanted proof.
That's pretty awesome. That's good. That's a good connection there when you feel it that profoundly.
I mean, I've never felt that much, like, energy or electricity or whatever you wanna call it shoot through my body. It was just a very profound moment, like, I'll never forget.
Those are moments you don't forget. And I don't know if this was like that for you or not, but I had just lost a friend and I'd gone to the funeral home and her two daughters were there. And so I walked around the room and I walked by the first daughter and I chatted with her a bit. And this group of ladies, we had this thing where we always put a white rose in the casket. And then I walked back to the back of the room because they said there's papers back in the back of the room and we want you to write down a memory. And then they were going to read them the next day at the funeral. I grabbed a little piece of paper and the papers they gave us were only about this big, very small pieces of paper. And I sat down in a chair with a pencil and I thought, how the heck can I put a 20-year relationship down in a tiny little piece of paper like this? I don't know what to say. I was just kind of dumbfounded. And I just sat there for a minute thinking about her. And it felt like a shower had been turned on and the energy was so strong, just pouring down on me. It went through me and then it went down and out and went directly to the first daughter. And I was just looking at her. I was just smiling. It felt it was so good. It just felt so good. I was smiling, and this energy went out to the daughter, and the daughter turned and looked at me, and she smiled. And I knew she felt it too. And of course, I knew it was her mother. It was her mother sending that energy to me, acknowledging to me that she was still present. And it probably not as powerful as Archangel Michael, because I can imagine that would be quite an experience. But to have that sense of connection to my friend who had crossed over was just amazing to me.
Yeah, it's like every connection has like a different energy or vibration. There's like what I call chords of connection. Some chords are bad, some are really good. And it's like you had like a very strong, like chord or connection with your friend.
Mhm.
Even though people pass on, I still feel like those chords are, still connected to those people.
Yeah, most of those ladies have passed over, and now I just call them my tribe because I know they're just, like you said, lining me up with other synchronicities and sending me in the direction of, I don't know, my highest good or someone else's, someone I can benefit or whatever. They're helping me make those connections.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm connected to them, and they're connected to the all, and they can see it all, and they can give me the best guidance and direction possible.
Yeah, because I always feel like a lot of times people that, like you were really close to in this lifetime, a lot of times they want to see you're successful and they really root for you and, like do things to line things up to help with, like your connections here on earth.
Mhm. I can say though that have been times in my life where I did not feel connected. I didn't feel connected to friends, to source, to anything. Like, have you ever had moments like that where you just feel like so disconnected?
Well, I feel like that when that happens, sometimes, like in our lives, we get so overburdened or disillusioned, or we feel what's going on in the world, and it gets to us, or
Mhm.
something happens where it's like, like we close part of our heart off. And then that's when I feel like we don't feel the connection. But that's not to say that the connection is not
Yeah,
there,
right. It's
but we
always
it's
there.
always there.
That's the biggest message probably we could put out there when it comes to connection. Even though you're not sensing it or feeling it, it's always there. It's just you have to find a way to feel it.
Yeah, you just have to open that door to
Yeah.
that place within you that can feel that connection in that you are never alone, that you're always supported, and that you always have that connection. It doesn't go away.
Yeah. That's awesome.